Hi everyone, welcome back to my crafty desk. My name is Sandra and I'm really excited to do this flip through today. I've been working super hard on this with all your help, thank you very much. And I thought that I better get this done, because I have to get it over to my daughter to give to her friend. So this was in the start to finish series, and I believe there's 13 episodes to that. It's my very first one. It's kind of a mixed match, so I hope you enjoy it. This is one of the 3 journals that we are working on. I ended up only finishing 2 of them. This is the second one, and then we're going to be moving on to something else. But I wanted to do the flip through. So here's the front of the journal, and I've been calling this one the let me see, the Vintage Colorful Front Curtain Pocket Journal. So I just wanted to keep the name really short, So anyhow, it got its name because it's vintage materials. It was very colorful at the same time. And then when I was putting it together, I flipped the material over and of the fabric, and then I wanted to create a pocket, but I needed it to stand out, so I used this beautiful vintage curtain piece on the top, on the front. So this is the front. It is a soft cover journal. It's made with a envelope, the mailing envelope. It's not a crunchy or no, is it? I don't think it's crunchy or noisy. I think it's just because of the inside. And then here's the spine. It's one signature sewed in. And then here's the back of the journal. So normally I really don't do a lot of work on the back of journals. This one got some extras because the vintage fabric that we used to cover it was very thin, and I was afraid, because I could already see like a little run, I was afraid that it was going to run, and so I didn't want it to do that. Anyhow, so I fussy cut a piece of the fabric out on a more, I don't know, not as worn out piece, and it has a little bit more color, a little bit more vibrancy to it, so it just kind of helped it pop off. Just use some doilies, I don't know, I call them vintage doilies because of A, I get them usually at estate sales, and B, I don't normally see stuff like that, but maybe they are not vintage. Feel free to correct me if you want to, but I'm going to keep calling them vintage probably no matter what. This green one, I think that's more, probably more of a modern one, but it's just really pretty. I love the colors they popped off. Here's a little bit of trim, and then here's my stamp. I just made a little label here. I'm not very good at doing this with all my journals. I try to. I think they're cute. And then I use what I've been calling my grandma material back here. I love, love, love that color, and the material has been working fabulous. Pulling in from the journal, from the spine and the front, just some of that sari silk, which that's what this is. And then I just put a little brad right there, and then the enclosure is punched, and it has an eyelet set in there. And then I pulled some of my pretty ribbon I thought went really well with this to make the closure, and then just tying it in throughout the journal, you will see. So before I open her up and she pops open, we'll start in the front. So here's the pocket, and this is the tag I made. So this is going to have a little secret with it, but it's a fun secret. I really love it. It's the first time I've ever seen it, so someone else I'm sure has already discovered this wonderful thing, but I sewed around the tag, and then I loved it. I went all the way around, and I really loved it. I thought it was pretty and simple. Kind of went, with the whimsy of this, and but when I put it in, the tag stuck up. The tag stuck out past that label that I made, and so I thought I'm gonna try and do a corner, cut the tip of it off, like this piece, and then round the corners, and then I cut right into the thread with my rounder. And so when that happened, when I tried to pull my puncher thingy, it pulled the corner, and then it just went across the bottom. So, but I love it. Look how it has that roughed edge with the zigzag. I mean, super cute. So now that's going to be a new thing I want to try. I want to do some sewing and then pulling apart. Why not? So there's that, and this is just a journal, and then I use some of my vintage tape back there. So that's a journal. That's just a pocket. That's just a card to start it with a little bow. And then I just did some layering with some of the fabrics and some sewing, and got the tag there for it says journal. So let's open her up, and the first page is, this is a piece of a pillowcase that had some embroidery on it that I also got from an estate sale, and I took and cut the piece of the embroidery out, and then I sewed around the edge, and with some cardstock behind it. And I'm definitely not a seamstress, but I still enjoy sewing and having fun with it. So that's all that matters, right? So I made a belly band with it on the front, and it goes right over top of that grandma fabric and then that material behind it. So it's just a lot of layers of the same tones and things like that. And then I used one of my cards out of my stash and used my Sizzix Big Shot to, let me make sure I'm staying in frame here. Whoops. Use my Big Shot to cut this saying out of the card. So I glued that on to this tag right here. This tag is I got from a DigiKit. I do not know from which one though. And I just put a tag inside there. So this one I did sew around, did some different, I went around twice there, and then just did a little bit different down there. Put a bow on there to match the front cover. I backed it to, this is one of those book page from my glue book. This is one of the tags I made a while back. Backed it on some coffee dye paper, and then it just goes right in there. Turn this around, and there's plenty of journal space. So this pocket tag goes inside the belly band, and then it just slides right down into the pocket. So on the inside cover, I went and I put, oops, I better get that down. I never did. I was going to put a little dangle there, and maybe I still will. So I shouldn't do that. I don't want to destroy that. So I put the fabric, this really pretty, is it eyelet, trim, lace fabric, whatever it is. I laid that across the whole bottom of the journal, and to make pockets on here. And then I flipped that around the edge here, and then I did it also on the back as well. I've been doing that a lot with this journal. And then some of that green doily, when I was cutting it, this piece right here, maybe it's just me, but it looked like a fish. So I was like, oh, that's so cute. I just love it. It was perfect. I didn't do it. I mean, I was just cutting stuff up. It just happened. It wanted to be on there. That's my story, I think. So I stamped Believe on my favorite textured paper from Hobby Lobby. And then I just put inside here another piece of a card that just has a nice saying on it. I just did my Sizzix Big Shot and left it blank to do whatever she wants. This is part of my stationery hoard that my very treasured stationery hoard. And I just took this out, folded it a little bit there, and put that in here for some journaling space right there. And that just goes right there to kind of start it off. On this side of the journal, here's one of those bags that I like to use, and layered up with lots of different fabrics and laces. Stamped one of my on some typewriting paper, inked around it, and then the card that we made for inside here is This Book Belongs to. That's what I went with. A lot of sewing and some lacy frilly top there. You'll see I have die cut there, and then I wanted to make sure I put in here how this journal, what this journal is for, a little about this journal. So it just kind of talks about, what you can do with a journal like this, because it's an interactive journal. It's a take apart, put back together, do whatever you want with it journal. Obviously, because it's not the easiest, just to write on. So here's another part of one of the cards I use with a little extra glue right there and right there. I'll have to just go and do a little erasing on here, I think, when I'm done. So this gold foil right here that you see, these are cupcake holders that I get out of the wedding section. They're fun to tear up and use, especially if you want to use foily stuff. And there's that. And then I have it on embossed avocado dyed paper of mine. So I did the embossing with the Big Shot and then trying it out. Then this page, I did put some gesso. If you were following along, you'll know that I put napkin right here, but I still want her to be able to write on it. And this was a little bit bright. And since I did decoration on here without any pockets or tags, I wanted them to be able to write on, know that that's usable space. Coffee dye paper, stamped. Lots of journaling space. Here's another pocket with the scrapbooking paper. I used a scrapbooking pad, or not a pad, paper that I had. I had a whole bunch of pieces that matched, that looked good together. and I've been trying to really stay just with the scrapbooking paper. I have a couple of little things with the digi-prints, and if I see them, I will point them out. So in this pocket, I just did some layering. I have some satin ribbon that I just pulled the wire out of, and then I just glued the three sides and made a cute little pocket. I made these little tags with my Sizzix Big Shot, and then I just put some little sayings on them, put some little brads in there, linked them together with chains. So this one says faithfulness and walk in the light. Isn't that pretty? I just thought they were so adorable. So I have the one sticking in there and the other one just dangles out. And then another one, and all these words, and I don't know which Etsy shop I bought them from, but they are on a digi kit. This scrapbooking paper tag right there. This is another one of those tags that I made a while back, and this is just decoupage paper that I bought, I think, off Amazon, and then I just made it into a tag, and then I just put a trim on that one. Here is a what do you call these? A journal card, and you can see they're very plain. There's a lot going on in here, so I think it's fine. That's a beautiful photo. I mean, that's what attracted me to the paper. I don't see why I need to put anything else on there. I mean, obviously we can if we want to, but sometimes it's nice just to have some backdrops, if you will. You know what I mean? So those just go in that pocket there, and then I put some lace trim right there. It's creamy, a little creamy trim. I did some sewing. So I sewed my pockets first, and then I glued them to my pages. You can absolutely sew to your pages if you like to. For me, it's easier. I struggle enough just sewing the signature in, so I don't want to put more things on there to fight with while I'm sewing. You may not have that problem, but I sure do. And then this is just pretty backdrop. You can still write on this. I did a lot of stamping through here with verses. This is my pink Kool-Aid dyed paper right there. It's got some washi for some added stability, which I must not have got the glue on there all the way, huh? So we'll just try to do that without gluing the page together. That's always fun. And then some more paper right here. Our scrapbooking paper. So this right here is where I was putting a card down, but the card got bent on the side, so I ended up tearing the card off, gluing the napkin down here to bring the napkin from the front over, just keep it going, and then and then I used a little bit of that card right here on top of some lace, just did some layering. But it turned out beautiful. You know, accidents aren't always, they're not always horrible, so that's why I don't like to call them accidents, I just call them secrets. So I put some paper in here to journal on, and that just kind of breaks up the pattern right here, so everything else can pop out. And then here's some things I just inked around the edges. This came from a scrapbook pad that was gifted to me. And then I just put those in there for color. And then these are from my coloring book. I like to cut the pages up and make tags and journal cards with. It's just a really fun, neat way to add some, what do you call it? You know, interest. There it is, the interest. Just adding some interest. And then here's a tag I cut out using my Big Shot on some cardstock, and I don't even know if that's a paper pad or if it's actually, if it was like a piece of mail or something. So, and then a ribbon and a bow, a ribbon bow. And then this side, these were the inserts of some of my Big Shot cutouts. I needed the outside of it for something else in the book. When I get to it, I'll point it out. And so I wanted to use the centers. Oops, I got that on the inside out, and I can tell because of the way it's cut, but it's not going to be a big deal. But it's just nice. It's nice paper. It'd be easy. She could put a photo on here. She could do whatever she wants. This is the snippet strips that we made on a video, and I cut them up into two of them into paper clips. So that's an altered paper clip. Oh, and then on the back, I used the napkin. So I just covered the back cardstock with the napkin, and I just tried to be clever to put a butterfly there. So when no one's gonna see it but her, but when she takes it off, she'll be like, oh, how cute, she finished the back. And there's a beautiful yellow butterfly. And who doesn't like butterflies, and who doesn't like yellow? I think yellow's so happy. It's such a happy color. Even when I was little, it always made me happy to see it. Not to wear it. Although I did have a pair of bright yellow banana pants when I think I was like 12. So, and then this is some This is tea-dyed paper, I believe, and I think this came from my friend Jamie Mathis that she gifted to me. She does the most beautiful tea-dye paper. I cannot do tea-dye paper. It is not up my alley at all. It's up her alley, so I go down her alley to get it. And then here's some more of that scrapbooking paper. I was also challenging myself to use every bit of stuff that I took out. So this is a fabric flip, and I actually added more stuff to it during the videos. And then here's some of my copy dyed with a stencil copy dyeing to journal on. And also this is the page that I needed just to break up that super busy. I love the green, but that little tiny words, it was just driving me mad. But I like it like this, like a frame. And then just did a stamp there, another stamp right here. You know, and she can also take these pieces off if she wants, or little pieces if she wants to use them other places. So this is my avocado dyed linen paper. This right here is another card, greeting card from my card stash. And I just decoupaged, I guess it's kind of decoupage. I just layered up some papers on top of the saying on the front because it wasn't what we were going with. Did some washi tape around the edges. I did this on a video with some washi tape. And I went ahead and framed it on the inside as well. And this started out because the card right here was starting to tear and I wanted to reinforce it. So I reinforced it from the inside, but I wanted to also take it a step further on the outside. And that led to all of this, which I love, 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 love. See? I just love how it all turns out. And then when I glued the card onto this page, I glued it on as a pocket. And I just took one of my index cards that I copy dyed and used a stencil along with the copy dyeing process that I did. I added some more of these little pieces, and I tried to put all this green and this vintage doily throughout just to, you know, keep it all kind of going together. I didn't do anything else to this. Oh, I did take my that's a piece of a card, and I took my punch. I use these a lot to put behind stuff. Like I didn't want this doily just to fall over, and I also didn't want it to keep unraveling. So what I did is I glued it, that part of it, to the back of this, and then I put the back of that. So then also when they turn it over, it's they can see how I can't put anything center, first of all, but they can see something pretty on that side as well. I think I just like it like that. It's how I like my stuff, so I just make it how I like it. And then just blank paper, or not blank, it's decorative paper with nothing on it but some washi tape that I brought over. Some of the copy dye paper, or is that the copy dye? Yeah. And I think it is. Anyways, so this is the card that I had cut out. So I cut this out of a magazine, this frame, and then I cut the card with my Big Shot to get this circle shape. And that's where our circle, the oval, and that's where that oval came into play. So this did not turn out the way I had intended it to, but it turned out absolutely beautiful, and I 100% love it. And this almost made me cry because I had such high hopes of what I wanted to do. And this is just awesome, and thank you so much for all the encouragement on this. The words everybody that I have received from all my friends here on YouTube has just been wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So this is the journal card, and this is also another greeting card, just like the colors, like the saying. So that's the part that I took from it, and then I extended it with some cardstock and then layered it up. So it goes in there nicely, and then you see how that's the picture you see inside the window. So some more scrapbooking paper, my copy dye paper with a stamped image, and then there's some washi tape going out around it. So just some of it's for reinforcement. I did reinforce all my copy dye papers before I sewed them in. This right here is a belly band, and I used all the strips of the papers to make the belly band. And then I took on the belly band, because these were strips, I went ahead and made another little belly band on a belly band, and I just put these little tickets. These are from a DigiKit. I think they're from Artzology. So I think, and I love her stuff. She's very, she makes some really pretty colorful things. And so I've got two there, and I've got, I think it's two or three. My fingers aren't being the most cooperative today. But those are just cute. They're little labels, little tags, whatever, whatever. Okay, go in. And then they're actually going easy. It's just my hands aren't working very well. And then I just took one of these labels, and I don't know whose label this is. I mean, it could be Tracy Fox. I really don't know, but that is from a DigiKit. And then here's some more of that gold cupcake holder. So inside the belly band, I put I put a piece of my super cool linen-y or typewriting paper, some kind of paper for journaling. So that goes in there. And then one of my postcards, and I just cornered, rounded, cut it down, rounded the corners, and put some ink on it, just for something different, fun. And then this is the offcuts to that frame that I showed you, that window frame here. This is the other side of this page, and there was pieces that were left over, so I just used my Big Shot, and I just picked a couple of pieces and cut that out. Then, turning the page, here's that front when I said I ripped that card off. So this was what was left of it, and so I fussy cut around, I cut the whole frame part off, and then I fussy cut around the butterfly. And then I didn't want it to get wrecked. I just used it as a pocket here. I didn't want the wings to get wrecked, so I took a piece of this paper that was left over. I punched a circle with it, and then I backed it to the back of the butterfly wings, and I turned it slightly so you can tell that it's not part of this, but it looks like it goes, so it's kind of like, you know, I don't know, it's just a little bit different. And then I just used the extra paper that was left over. I just rounded the corners and I popped that in there. It's just nice for some color, a little color backdrop. Could be used anywhere as a label or anything. Here's another one of those fun, colorful cards that I thought goes well with the colors from that scrap pack that was gifted to me. Here's a tag I made. Wow, gosh, a few years ago, so it was just in my stash, and I thought it just went nice. It's on like really heavy cards. It's a stiffy one, that's for sure. It's super stiffy, but that's okay. It holds everybody there. And then this is my Kool-Aid dyed paper, stamped and washi taped. This is my double Rita pocket flip up things that turned out different than what I had anticipated them to, but I still love them very much. And they both have was a tag, and then on accident I turned it into a jar shape, but I think it's so cute. So there's that in there, and that one, and then there's this one from the scrapbooking paper, and I just kept them really simple. And then on the top one as well, so you flip this up, and then she can journal inside here. Then this Rita flip right here tucks right into that, and then it flips up, and then it's got the same edge punch that I put on here, just a little bit right there. Blends in a lot, but that's okay. That's kind of the way I wanted it, just a little peekaboo. And then this one has these two cards up here on the top that they can journal on. So same thing, just different papers in the pockets. So let's see. Nope, I wanted it like this. I think I like that. We'll see. Yeah, I think I do. This is the middle of the signature on right here. So all I did in here is I did some washi tape decoration. I was going to do something in here. I wasn't sure what, but when I realized that I had knotted my knot too tight on the middle part of sewing this signature in, it was just kind of sinking into the this page, and eventually, you know, it's going to sink. So I didn't want that to happen. So what these two holes were not compromised, so I felt good about the structure of the journal, but still, I needed to fix that. I did use some washi tape. I didn't really want to go over these words, but I think she can still read it because everybody knows this saying, dance as if no one was watching. And so I just did some washi tape decoration on here, and then on my coffee dye paper, I stamped "Delight in Life." I love that saying. I thought it went well with all of that, so I just put that down in the corner. And then instead of doing dangles, I decided that I wanted to make this knot bigger, so I tied a double knot bow, and then I put some little, whatever they are to her, friendship knots, prayer knots, whatever, but I love them. I think they're pretty. I think they just really do a lot. And then this journal is I'm giving this journal to my daughter, and she's giving it to her pastor's wife who was battling cancer. I don't know what type it is. I just know that it's a very aggressive one, and Danielle just wants to give her something nice that means something from her, and so she asked me to make something because she knows I can't make anything without loving it 100%. So this journal is packed, filled with love. So let me make sure I'm in the camera here. So then I grabbed a card that I had made, and the colors don't really match, but this is from my stash of cards that I made a long time ago. So this is why I'm not a card maker. See how crooked everything is? I'm just gonna go with it because that's what I do. This is another reason why I was more inspired to do like mixed media type things, because I just think there's so much more forgiveness with things. So this is not center. I tried to center it. I tried, but anyways, there's a stamp. I use my Big Shot to make these things. This is all Stampin' Up paper here. And then I just tied these ties around them just because for added interest. And then I think it's kind of fun because like if you were doing money or a gift card or anything, you can kind of like slide it in there. And then I left it open, and I just put one of my happy little stickers in here for Danielle. So it says, "Your smile brightens the room." And that's it. It's pretty simple, pretty darn simple, but that is going to, oh, my little threads are getting compromised, but that's okay. That's okay. And then I just use this cute little paper clip thing, majigger, this little circly thing. You know, because you know the saying, "Friendship of a circle, the circle." It's a Girl Scout song. I was a Girl Scout leader for many years. You'd think I'd know that song, but I do not. I know parts of it. Gosh dang it. It's only because of the video. So there we go. We'll keep that like that. Turn the page. So now we're on the back side. So it's the same thing with the Rita flips. This one, we had a secret, so we used washi tape, which, oh, I got to get that down a little bit better, don't I? And I think I'll just do another flip there before I package it up. And then so that one's that way, and then we have this one. So I did the washi tape for the decoration on this one. And then another Kool-Aid dyed paper, stamped, and then another piece of the scrap paper from this journal that I made. I went ahead and used that on the top there, and then my stamped on my favorite textured paper from Hobby Lobby, which you can see how textured, like look at that, and it's just it's got a really nice feel. I love this stuff. Anyhow, this has I just tucked in here another one of those ovals, and I had cut an extra one because I cut the first one wrong anyways. This is a tag. I did not make this one. This one I bought from somebody off of Etsy, a whole mess of them. They're so cute. So I just inked around the edges. I added some washi stamp stickers to the back, and then I'm just going to tuck it right up in here. I thought that went well with this. And then this side is the same thing. We have that side pocket or side tuck, whatever you want to call it, and everything in here the same thing. So we have another piece of that paper from the frames. This is the back side. Oh, I didn't show you the other side. So it's like this, so that she can journal on it. And the same thing with the other one. And then there's a postcard, and then some more of that linen paper. It's the same thing, just a different postcard, a different shape of this, and some different colors of these little tabs that are right there. Coffee dye paper is right there, and with a stamped image that's a little bit blurry, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. You know, it's handmade. And then here's another part of that strip that we made. And I added a couple more things to it, and then I added, on the last video we did, I said it needed a focal image. Well, I went ahead and just put that stamped image that was in my stash already. And then we have another oval right here clipped in, and I'm just gonna leave it. And then here's the other one right here of that page, that magazine where we cut out the frame. And I just put one of these, so I went around this frame. So the reason why I go around the frames is because it helps hide my crooked cutting. And then I laid this, this is from a curtain. I have so many of these, are so cute. So I just cut them out sometimes, and I just laid that one down right there. And then the journal card in this one is another greeting card. And then here's some more of that foil cupcake holder. And then this was just some collage paper that I did in my book, my collage book. And I used my Sizzix Big Shot, my new Welltail Sizzix Big Shot die cut. We did that on a video. I think we did. Maybe we didn't. Yeah, I think we did. And then the back is a journal card, and then I just pulled some more of that gold back there. And so that just slides right down into there, ever so gently. Some more coffee dye paper. Isn't that so cool? That's from a pan, those marks, from where I laid them down in the pan. And this right here. So this is another secret page, but it turned out okay. It turned out fine. I mean, I'm happy with a lot of the elements on here. I just had an idea and I just can't get past it. So these are little journal cards right here. Let me take those out for a second. So this right here, this acetate, this is from an old photo book. And this is the card that actually went in there. So it was the old photo book, and I just I don't even know if I trimmed down the edges. Oh, I think I just rounded the corners. I think they were all like this, and it was in those photo books, you know. Anyways, so I wanted to make this a belly band and glue it just on the back side like I did right there, and then on this side. I reinforced it before I glued it down though with the washi tape because it tries to peel apart. It's older and it's just acetate, so after, you know, a lot of reefing on it, it's gonna tear. This is a greeting card, not vintage. It's a greeting card that I just put on here. But anyhow, as you can see, I glued all the way around, and so I only have this pocket. Then I have this pocket with nothing else on this page. I thought, I guess it's okay, but in my mind, you know, I thought. So I went ahead and used some of my scraps, and I made another little tiny pocket there. And then some of the scraps, I made these little tags, or little tags, and they're rough. So they've got a torn edge, and then they're layered with the stamp image on top of the grandma fabric, on top of some lace. And then the back side is dark. So I just put some gesso on there. That way that it's still usable to be writing on. And the same thing with that one. So those go in here. And I just made a little double pocket just to kind of get one lifted up past the other. So it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not what I wanted, but I like it. And then so I used the washi tape to decorate this, and then pulling the washi tape on the back side and then over to here just to kind of bring all those colors still together. So this is just the scrapbooking paper, the avocado dyed paper on that linen with the stamped verse on there. I think I keep calling these images. I guess it's an image of a verse. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the fabric belly band. I used the same fabrics that I did the fabric flip with. And then here's a couple more of those tags that I bought from the gal on Etsy. And I just love how she layered up paper. I don't know if these are her digi images or ones that she purchased, but I love how she layered the paper and the lace and the different trims on them. And then she used those, then you can tell those are those old reinforcers. I loved them. So what I did is I rounded the corners and I inked around them, and that was my touch on something that I purchased that was another art piece crafted by somebody else to put in this book. And then I put some linen paper in here to journal on. There's nothing on it, it's just blank. It's just pretty linen paper. And then this, I just put gesso on this just so that it would tone it down behind here because it's so bright. And that busy writing was just driving me crazy. So here's some more of that sari silk that we use in the front of the book, and then some of these little flowers. This page is just like so extra fluffy and puffy. So I mean, that might drive some people crazy, but like when I first opened this page, I think, oh my goodness, there's just so much. Like it's just like it wants to come alive. But then I look at it, I'm like, I like touching it. I like looking at it. It's really pretty. It's fun. It's fun. So whoops. So that's the back side of that scrapbooking paper, and then some more. Here's the back side of the tea dye paper that Jamie Mathis gifted me. And then this, oh yes, we did this on a video. So this is a pocket that we made, but I ended up doing a little bit more to it after the video. So it's a tuck behind, and I just put some paper in there. I just gave it some fun folds just to, you know, make it have that layered look right there. So that goes on the back. I glued it on and as a tuck, right? Tuck, because it's not a pocket because there's the open side. So on this, we have a journal card right here on that part of it, and then on the side of it, we have a journal card, and then on the bottom of it, we have a little tag. So I just used that green cardstock paper, and it was fine, but then I was messing with it, and I don't have Nuvo drops or anything like that, and that's just not on the That's way down on my budget list of things that I will get one day. But what I do is I use, and I showed it in a video, I use my acrylic paints, and I just, sometimes I use water. I just put it like on a little dish or something, and most of the time I'm just finger painting with it. Or I'll use a baby wipe. I think this one I used my baby wipe. I just kept dipping it in the paint, and then I would just smush them around. So there's some of the, if you want to see kind of what I'm talking about, there's a video somewhere in here. And so I just made these journal cards. Oh, but look at, I pulled the colors back here. Isn't that pretty? I love how that came out. So at first, so what happened is I put the first color on. I was like, uh-oh, I just messed it up. And then I was like, nope, remember the rule. Nothing's messed up. Nobody knows it wasn't supposed to be that way. That's the first rule. And the second rule is secrets always can be covered up. So it could just be my secret. And that's a card from my card stash. And when I made this with you guys, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but I had made this thumb imprint to put the card in, and then I took my butterfly tab and I actually centered it on the card, not paying attention to that. So when I went to go put it in after the video, I was like, my butterfly was down here, and I thought, oh my goodness, what the heck? So I ripped it off, which very gently, but I tore the paper and the card, you know, because it's where I'm using art glitter glue. So of course it's on there. It's on there for good, even though it was only minutes. And so I put some of this fabric, this curtain piece back here, put some paint on it. So it looks purposeful. I mean, I guess it is purposeful now. But now my butterfly goes in the tab. This journal card. Now this is a DigiKit. This paper right here, and this is from Chapter 1 Papers. You go to Chapter 1 Papers if you've never been there before. You will probably fall in love. It's just there's just so many papers, and they're just nice because they're just like basically background. The ones I bought anyways. I can use them for anything. I just love them. So, and then when that flipped down, I put a little saying there and a little butterflies, and I just kind of layered them up, and that little tag goes there. And next page, so using some more of the scraps because I'm trying to use up all of everything. You're going to be proud when you see the pile that's left over. I cannot wait to show it to you. So this, I made another little tiny little tuck pocket, and I made them really small and down here because I thought if they wanted to put pictures or anything on here, any artwork, then there's still plenty of room. Some more of those little cards that are colorful from that scrap pack kit. I signed it down here, and hand signing, and then some of that Kool-Aid dyed paper, and then here's the back side of that other one that had that really pretty green picture on there. Half of it was just plain. So on the other page here is another one of those pockets with another silk or satin ribbon pocket. I just pull the wire out, cut it with my, what I do is I cut it with my bad scissors. I call them my bad scissors because I use them for whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't care if my husband picks them up, but they're the bad scissors, so they can be used. I cut that wire and then pulled the wire out. When I cut the sides, the wire just pulls out. Then I used my edging scissors to cut the sides. I did some layering right here and made a pocket. So here's another one of those little tag things that I made with my Sizzix Big Shot, and I put some eyelets in there. And then this one, the sayings, and these sayings are from an Etsy kit. Trust the word of God and blessings. So I thought that was pretty cute. Here's a tag that I made from scrapbook paper. Here's another one of those older ones. So what I did on this is I had on the other side, there's this cup, this paper is the tag, and this paper is the journal card on the first pocket that we seen earlier in the book. So it's the same thing, and they're just mixed matched like this. I wanted them so that each one would stand out. And they're all kind of plain. Like I didn't do a lot to them. Like I said, there's a lot going on. I love it. I love it a lot. For a journal that's really full and has a lot going on, I love the simplicity of all the other elements too. So this is a triple pocket that I made with the scrapbooking paper, and then I put some more of the napkin down here, and then I just took one of the sayings, cut it apart, and then just kind of layered on right here. So on this one, this pocket is the length, and then this pocket will be the rest of the length, and then this pocket, and I'm silly, I'm so silly. This tag in this pocket, so this tag is the length of, and so on and so on. Okay, so we'll start with the top tag and pull it out. And so I took some of the scrapbooking paper also, and I punched out the circles for a tab. I use some of my gold washi tape that I love so much down there. This is from Tim Holtz, these little sayings. So that one just says choose happiness. And then I tore the washi tape. So I tore it, I put the bottom piece there to be the backdrop of the saying. And then I took the other piece and I put it up here at the top. And I used another part of the scrapbooking paper, punched a second whole circle out, scallop circle, and I just backed it to the other side. So I like that. I know I have some tags that are out there and that I see that line, this line right here, and I personally don't like it. So, I mean, if I got one like that, just because of who I am, I would probably just art in my journal anyways and write in it. So I'd probably just put something on it, but I personally like it like that. So that's why I make it. So then that one says, I'm gonna move this over a little bit. So this one says, choose happiness. And then this tag says fearless. I love that one. And the same thing with all it's the same complete thing with the washi tape and the things. And then this one right here says genuine. And then same thing, the stickers, the washi sticker and the scallop punch, circle punch. And then it just says focus on what's important. I just thought, and there's a lot of journaling space on that. And even the front, like anything can be put on there. You know, a favorite image, a favorite quote, a Bible verse, a photograph. I mean, whatever, or nothing. I mean, they're still gorgeous like this. So, okay. I know now why I fight while I'm on video is because I'm trying to sit far away and I'm reaching for it and I'm being awkward. So, okay, awkward Sandra. So then the other side is just regular paper that she can journal on. And, you know, I'm going to tell my daughter, since I'm gifting this to her, I promise I won't charge extra for the glue here. This, I wanted to make it a little pocket, but for the life of me, I couldn't find anything at all that I liked tucked into it. So that spoke to me as stop and leave it like this. And when I did that, and then I came back later, I love it. But I do want to put a little, sparkly thing there that I haven't done yet. So there's that. Thought this was finished. I'm so sorry. So I put a tag in here. Again, this is one of those tags that gal made that I bought from. And I wanted a focal point on here. And I was going to do lots of different things. And then I ended up that it just really needed that. That's it. Just a little bit of a lace right here, a trim, and then this butterfly. And I love it. So there's that. And then I also put some more, the other side of my embossed, my avocado dyed paper that I embossed on the Sizzix Big Shot. And it's a frame. I don't know if that's picking it up at all, but isn't that pretty? And I just tore around it. I didn't tear the bottom. I don't think it needed it. And then I just put that in here, and there's a big piece of my grandma fabric. And then, some glue seepage, but you know what? That's just gonna happen. Maybe when I do that sparkle, I'll put a little something right there. And then that's the back page. So I'm gonna stick that there. And then here's a vellum envelope. And what I did here is I took, and I think I'm gonna start doing this. I wish I would have thought about this sooner, but I talk about how they can do all these different things in here, but I need to gift some things so that they have something to work with. So I'm gonna start, and I love using my Big Shot. And I have lots of scraps, and my scraps from the papers that I'm using, that's another way I can use them. These are not scraps from this paper because this was an afterthought. This is not scraps from the papers I use in here because it was an afterthought. So I just grabbed a bunch of different pieces that she can use. So some of these are cards that I had used my Big Shot with, and some of it's cardstock. Some of it's just, I needed the squares out of, and so I started cutting them specifically. Instead of trying to use up all the paper when I was cutting up all these squares for my grandkids, I thought I'll use these frames, so I started separating them out. And then more of the Big Shot, frames and ovals and circles and cute little thingamajiggers, and isn't that so cool? And now she has all these things. They're little labels, they're little cards. She can use them in here or anywhere else. I mean, like, the sky is the limit. So, isn't that fun? I just think that's so wonderful. I'm so happy that came to me because I just think it's such a clever little thing to do. And I know for me, I would love that. So that's what I do. I just do what I love. If it makes me happy, then I'm gonna do it. I'm a firm believer in being happy. Loving what you do and doing what you love. And just, but I will say that, I mean, I guess you can't love all parts of everything. I mean, like, there's just, I don't love paperwork and I still have to do that. But, okay, I'm not going to struggle on the camera anymore. I'm tired of doing that. So I'm just going to get this in there later, and I'll put this tag back here so I don't forget. And I have to come back anyways and do a couple things. And then we have the back of the journal. And so when I fussy cut this floral out, I had cut the leaves out, so I just wrapped them around, since that was kind of the concept of things that I was doing. So like this pocket, when I was on there, I flipped it out on this side. So it's just kind of like just wrapped in love, you know? It's just wrappy, wrappy, wrap. So I hope you enjoyed this journal flip through. I sure did, and I loved making it. And this is my scraps. This is it. This is it. I feel okay even just tossing it. So hope nobody gets mad at me for saying that. Maybe not all these little pieces, but that's it. So I thank you for joining me for this flip through. Thank you for joining me on making this journal. It's been a pleasure. I mean, wonderful. And I just enjoyed every single moment of it. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or wherever this video finds you in your life. And I will see you on the next video. Bye, friends.